Randall Richter. I've been involved in Norco Fire Company since 1962. I was chief from 1998 to 2004. And now I'm back as chief engineer and the captain of fire police.
My name's Douglas Kime. I've been a member of Norco Fire Company for 54 years.
When I first joined here, we had 1957 International. We had 62 International. We had a 1968 Mac we were buying at the time. It wasn't purchased yet when I started. We had a 1967 four-wheel drive unit. It was in service.
The first actual fire truck we put in service was an old 1934 Holland, and that was back in around 1955 when we actually went into service. Our building was built and was dedicated in 1955-56. We started with just a small building with 2 bays, a social room.
When the area started, when we first started here, we used to run it on brush fires and stuff before they put controlled burning and such, and we ran a high of 7 calls per day on brush fires and brush science season. No sooner got done one, we used to go right to the next one.
When I first started, the fire gear that we wore was a rubber coat, just a plain type of helmet, the high rubber boots, and we've changed from that quite a bit, going to the different type fire coats, then going to the fire coats with the bunker pants. So we've changed quite a bit in the gear that we wear.
When we first started, we only had around 25 active members. Now we're up to about 35 to 40.
The Goodwill Fire Company had a dispatch center there, and we were on with that. Us and quite a few of the surrounding companies were with Pottstown. Then gradually Chester County got their own dispatch system, Montgomery County did. Then most of them all went over onto the county system. Way back when we first started the fire company here, we actually, before we even had a dispatch center, we had the phones in several of the members' homes and received the calls on the phones at their homes. And my father had the phone in his home, and he used to have a button there in at his home that actually blew the siren here at the fire company.
Bigot fires, we had 3 or 4 bigot. We used to run to Pottstown. We were the Hill School in Pottstown. We were there for 2 days. We had Valley View Apartments a couple of years ago. We had barn fires that cooked 2-3 days. We used to be over in Pottstown fighting fires all the time. We had an apartment complex one time down off of Arwood Road that burnt to the ground. We were there for a day and a half, I believe, if I can recall.
McCrory's department store burnt pretty much to the ground over that time. We had several stores on the main street in Pottstown that burned in one fire. We had a Canning's drugstore down on the east end of Pottstown that pretty much burnt to the ground. Doler Jarvis factory in town burnt that we were on. We've had several big ones here in our township, quite a few home fires, some of them that were quite a bit extensive damage.
The fair been started here in 1957, and running and getting close to 50 years, and it's a hard job, but 6 days, but we do well on it. And it's one of our biggest money makers. The fair is bingo, is another good money maker. Our social end brings in a lot in for hall rentals. And there's 3 big things the fair, the hall rental, and bingo are our biggest 3 money making things we do for the public and have going on fundraising.
It's just getting harder and harder to get people. The amount of training that you have to go through now, a lot of people when they say, oh, they'd like to come out, when they find out the hours that you got to do in training and the weekends and weeknights, turn some people off of coming out. They don't have the time to do it, but they'd like to help the community. But when the amount of training they need, they kind of shy away a little bit, and they can just see of it getting more and more hours of training as time goes, as technology gets more, you're gonna need more training because of the technology.
I think everything will be okay, as long as people keep getting training and keep the fundraisers keep going, I think we'll be all right. If it don't get vaxxed, and start getting vaxxed, then we're gonna start hurting and we're gonna be slowed down on the buying newer equipment.